Hey guys, it's Carolina here from KarolinasKrafts and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have another project share and tutorial as I'm playing catch up with my Scrappy Christmas Craft series, the collaboration I do with Tiffany from Let's Get Scrappy. And I was behind on May and June, so yesterday or a couple of days ago I posted the tutorial for my May one. Today I'm going to be catching up on my June Scrappy Christmas Crafts. July might have to wait till next month. I don't know, you guys. I'm trying to catch up by doing like some smaller or faster projects. That way I can get them done and just kind of play catch up, because the longer albums, the bigger albums, they take a lot more time, you guys. So I'm just trying here. I'm trying to play catch up. But I hope you guys are going to like this project, and if you haven't seen Tiffany's video yet, definitely check her out down below. I also have the playlist for our Scrappy Christmas Craft series linked down below, and all the videos from the series is there. And we did this is our second year doing this, so all of the videos are there, you guys. All the tutorials. You guys have a lot to catch up on if you guys are new here. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you guys what I made, and then we'll go into the tutorial. So I am running with these cardstock albums that don't require any chipboard. One, because they're a little faster, so they're easier for me to get done and faster for me to get done, so I can catch up. Secondly, a lot of you guys don't want to do always chipboard projects, and sometimes you guys want cardstock albums, and you guys have been asking me for more cardstock albums, so I decided I would make some more. So the May one was a cardstock album, and this one is a cardstock only album as well. You guys can make some too. And this time around, normally our cardstock albums are, you know, just taller. This time I tried to make it a little bit more of a landscape theme. And a landscape cardstock album. I haven't seen any landscape cardstock only albums, so I thought I would come up with something for that. So that's what I did for this month. I used the collection called Peace and Joy that was just sitting on my desk. And I guess I used this in another project, and I guess I've been still trying to use it up because it's still sitting here. And this is from Recollections. It was like a hot buy paper pad at some point. So yes, I still have a ton of paper left, you guys. Okay, maybe not a ton, because these bigger ones, like that one's a little harder to use. And there's, okay, maybe I have a good amount still, but these two, I might turn this into a little bag or something, like a Christmas gift bag. And then I already pulled out 4 sheets that are full size kind of pages, because I'm going to turn these into gift bags also. So this is going to be one gift bag. This is going to be another gift bag here. So you know what, might as well get my Christmas gift bags done for the holidays. And it's so much easier to give people gifts in gift bags. I do love opening presents, and I always want my own presents from like my immediate partner to be wrapped, but everybody else, you could just give me a gift bag, and everybody else, I will give you a gift bag, but I will wrap my partner's presents and I will wrap my dog's presents because I love watching her open them. So everybody else could get a gift bag though, because it's just easier. And since I already have these full-size sheets, why not use them and turn them into a gift bag? I did one last year and it held up pretty well. So anyway, that's what I used for this album. This guy measures 5 1/8 by 6 1/8. We've got 2 spines, a 1-inch spine on this side, 3/4 on this side. And this is what it looks like. And by the way, this is available in my Etsy shop in case you guys are interested. And then I just got to add my handmade logo stamp to the back of this, so I will do that. But anyway, you open this guy up, and I used 110-pound cardstock for the base of the album, so it's just sturdier than like regular 65-pound weight cardstock. And here's what it looks like on the inside. So you open it up. On the left-hand side, I have a little like journal card here. This is a nice little pocket. You can fit some more things in here as well. And then this opens up to the left. Here I cut my paper a little too short, so I ended up adding in another little pocket, but here I just added in these cut aparts from the collection that somebody could take out and use and put on gifts and things, because it has the to and from kind of thing, or you could just write on the back or whatever. So I just tucked those in here. Once those are gone, you could just tuck in a photo in here, or you could glue down a photo directly on top of that and close up that pocket. So that's an option there. And then this piece, I'm gonna do it in the tutorial, but I did this piece first before I did this side, and I probably would not recommend adding this piece, and I'll mention that again in the tutorial. And if you do, maybe I would make it smaller, but this, I mean, it still works, but when you open it, you see how this stays kind of open? It's because I added in a gusset on this side, and we needed that gusset on that side for sure, but because I added that, this obviously doesn't open flat. You can still add a photo, which I love, but yeah. If you wanted to, you can also, instead of gluing this, or you know what, maybe we'll do that in the tutorial. Maybe instead of putting it here, we'll put it up on the top and do like a little flip up instead, so that this will still close. You know what, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change my measurements, so that's a flip up page instead. All right, you guys, so I changed my measurements so that this page underneath here is gonna be a flip up instead of a flip to this side. And this is why a lot of the time I, make prototypes first, or, I test it out as I'm making it first. And now I know like what to fix in the tutorial. But anyway, so that is the left-hand side. Like I said, it still works. You just can't open it all the way flat. So I would prefer to have a top flap instead, but that's up to you. But I'm only gonna give you guys the option for the top flap. On the right hand side, as you guys could see, I have this gusset on both sides, and here I just added this piece that says December 25th. This is not even from that collection. It's from like a Echo Park Salutations collection, like a 6x6 paper pad, and I had that here. And this is magnetized closed. I made sure when I magnetized this that these are pretty flat, or they lay straight, because that's the way I wanted it to go, and this allows you to fill up the rest with photos. So when you open this up, you could add photos on either side here. Then I have a pocket here with just another cut apart, but I would suggest just adding in some more pockets in here, or a gift card, or whatever it is that you want to add in here. And then these all just kind of flip up. I'm gonna zoom out a little for additional photos. So you could flip up, add photos, flip up again, add some more photos, flip up again, add some more, and again, and you could just add all the photos. Now you could also do the same thing. I don't have a lot in here, so it keeps falling out, but you could also do the same thing by flipping down. So you can add photos. All these photos, you have all the space to add your photos, you guys. So this is technically a Z fold. If you guys look at it this way, watch, I'm gonna open this up and they all kind of come out. So technically you can do it that way. I was thinking, I just like opening it like this because, well, that fits on your table. And the other ways do not fit on your table like that, but I also just like it because, I feel like this is just cuter flipping it this way. So I mean, the person could flip it whichever way that they want, but that's the way that I was thinking with that. And that's everything for this album, you guys. So that magnetizes back closed, this closes, and this is a fairly easy project, and it comes together quickly. So if you guys want to make these for your craft fairs, you could do that. If you want to make them as gifts, you could do that. I know you guys have mentioned you guys have some craft fairs and stuff coming up, so I think this one would be a good project to make for that, because like I said, it comes together quickly. And if you don't want to add in so many magnets, you could probably not do the whole left hand side and just do this. Just do this part. Like, you don't even need to have anything on the other side. So it's totally up to you. So we're gonna get started on the tutorial. Like I said, it'll come together quickly, so let's get to it. All right, you guys, so I have my pieces cut out. You guys could do the same thing if you download the cutting guide, which is linked down below in the description box. Please, if you download the cutting guide, consider making a donation to my Ko-fi page so I could continue making these cutting guides for you, because we all know I write out my own measurements. I just type them up for you guys. So first thing, this is some heavyweight cardstock. Start off with heavyweight cardstock. This is 110 pound. You want heavyweight for the base of your album. The inside, I'm going to be doing 65 pound, but the outside and another piece, I'm going to be doing 110 pound cardstock. So the first piece that you need that we're actually going to put aside, this measures 6 3/4 by 5 1/8, and then on the 6 3/4 inch side, you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch and 1 1/2. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and burnish that, but I am gonna put this aside for a little bit while we continue on with the rest of our album. So I'm just gonna put that aside. That's what that's gonna look like right there, okay? So let's put that aside. The actual base of your album is going to be 2 pieces that measure 5 1/8 by 11 inches. But you're going to cut those the same, so the same measurement, but we're going to score them differently. So on the first piece, you're going to score on the 11 inch side at 6 1/8 and 7 1/8. And then on the second piece, you also have the 5 1/8 by 11 inches, but on this piece, you're going to score at 6 1/8 and then 6 7/8. So it's just a slightly smaller like spine that we're going to have there. So go ahead and burnish all those pieces. All right, you guys. So now we have something that looks like this, right? So the piece that has the 1 inch, which is this one right here, this is actually going to be this side. This is actually going to be the left side of my album. So it's going to go like this. But we're going to flip it. So this is going to be my cover. This is going to be the shorter piece, is going to be my back cover. So then you're going to take your other piece. You have a short piece and this long piece. This long piece is going to get glued down onto that other short piece. Okay, so let's do that together. So again, this is my 1 inch right here. The other one has the 3/4. So I'm putting glue all over this. And I'm just gluing the 2 pieces together. Line it up to the score line. That way you can get your full 6 1/8 inches. And go ahead and burnish. Okay, you want it up to that score line, but you don't want it to go over because you still need this piece to be able to fold. So now we have this and we have this, so that's what this is going to look like so far. And then that other piece that we just did, this other heavyweight piece, you are going to just put some glue right here. And you're going to glue this down also right here up against where you just glued that other one, because that's the same side that is going to get this like Z-fold element. So pretty much right where you just glued the other one, glue this one on top. And this one has that gusset. So it's going to look like this, okay? What I did in mine, okay, my other album, this is the way I had intended it to go, and I probably should have kept it that way. But what I had done on mine, I ended up making mine a little bit shorter, and I only did that because I ended up cutting my paper wrong. So if you want to leave it like this, you can. You can cut this piece shorter if you want. So you could just cut off 1 1/8 inch off if you want this size. So you would just cut off 1 1/8. It's totally up to you. I'm just gonna keep it the way that I had intended it to be, but like I said, I cut my paper wrong. So that's how mine turned out. But it's totally, like I said, up to you. If you want these the same size, feel free to cut it. So all you want is this to be 4 and 1/8 inch. So then you would just cut some off here because this is 5 1/4. So cut off 1 1/8. Okay, so that's up to you. On the left hand side, I'm going to take a piece that measures 5 1/2. So 5 1/2 inches by 5 1/8. And then on the 5 1/2 inch side, I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish that. And that is going to get glued down right here on the left hand side. Okay, so go ahead and burnish that. Okay, the next piece you're gonna need, so this is the piece that I had already changed by measurement, so this is gonna be a flip up. You're gonna need a piece that measures 5 inches tall by 5 5/8 inches wide, and I'm gonna have the measurements on the cutting guide like going wide by tall first. So it's gonna be whatever is wide, so it would be the 5 5/8 by 5 inches tall. I have it written backwards here, but that's the way that I'm going to write it on the cutting guide. And so on the 5 5/8 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish this, and this is going to be the same width as the other one as I showed you guys here, except that this one is going to be a top flip. So same width here, but we're just going to be flipping it up instead of to the right. That way it's not going to hit against this gusset piece. So I'm going to put some glue on the back. And I'm going to glue it to the top right against that score line. Okay, so that's gonna go like that, that goes like that, that goes like that, and then you could still have your magnet here. Now what I am probably gonna have to do is, oh no, it's not really sticking out. I thought it was sticking out a little bit. If I want to cut off some extra down there, I can. And then the next thing you're gonna do is cut a piece that measures 6 1/8 by 2 1/2 tall. On the 6 1/8 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch on both sides. And then on the 2 1/2 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch on one side. Go ahead and take some scissors and miter that, because this is a pocket. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fold all these pieces. And I'm just gonna glue the one piece down. I'm not gonna do like a, I normally use my, what is it, my pocket, not my pocket, my envelope punch board to do a little notch. I'm not gonna do that here, but I'm gonna glue this down on that top flap all the way on the end. Okay, I'm gonna open that up and I'm gonna add some tape. So I like to add in tape, just make sure that everything that goes in this pocket is gonna slide in easily. So I just like to use some packing tape, and I cut him a little too long. Okay, I can glue down the rest, but I'm probably gonna do that afterwards. I mean, I guess I could. Whatever I put in there after will just slide in, right? So let's just go ahead and glue that down. I am noticing though that as I was designing this and then decorating, I forgot one piece that I had designed that I kind of forgot to add in. And that was a belly band. So I had originally thought that underneath all of this, I would have a belly band going here, which you can totally do. So this measures 6 inches by 1.5. However, if you are going to add this belly band, I would probably add this flap on the bottom now instead of the top. Only because when you add something here, and I mean, maybe it's tight enough, so maybe you don't have to, but if it's not tight enough, whatever you put here might slide out from the bottom. So if you want to prevent that, you can add in a flap down here. You can move this top flap to the bottom instead. You could have 2 flaps, however you want to do it. There is always options, you guys. And I could go back and still add in another flap down here if I want to. So it's totally up to you guys. But that's just the way that I had intended it to go originally. But I guess because I forgot to add that in, now I'm realizing that it would kind of slide out anyway. So however you guys want to do it. Okay, what's next? Next up is this side, okay? I kind of think like maybe I do want it the same width. I'm gonna cut off 1 1/8. And if you had glued this down already, that's okay, you guys. Just go ahead and line this up to cut off 1 1/8. It's really not a big deal. So that's all I'm doing. Just lined it up, cut off some paper, and it's okay. So that these are now the same width here. All right, so next up, you're gonna need some pieces that are gonna go inside this whole thing. So you're first going to need 3 pieces that measure 11 inches by 5 7/8. And then on the 11-inch side, you're gonna score at 5 1/8 and then 10 1/4. So you need 3 pieces like that, okay? So let's go ahead and burnish and fold all of those. So this top one is gonna fold down. The smaller piece is gonna fold like back, and then this one's gonna fold up. So for that first piece, I mean the second piece is gonna do that too. Then again, fold down behind you or behind, and then up with this second piece. And those are just going to get stuck down right on top of each other. Then again, this next one. So now I'm just going to attach all of these on that little score line piece, okay? So I'm going to grab one, put some glue. Okay, I'm going to stick it right to the top of this last piece. And then go ahead and burnish. So now I have one longer piece. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing with this next piece. Okay, again, I'm just going to glue this down right to the other one at the top. Okay, and then I need one more piece. This one is going to measure 7 5/8 by 5 1/8, and then on the 7 5/8 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and then 5 5/8. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish that, and then this piece is going to be our flip up pocket. So this, when you go to add your paper, you're going to glue this pocket down just on the 2 sides. That's after you add your paper though. So go ahead and add some glue to this piece now. And that's going to get stuck down to the very top of this other one, just like we were doing before, just a slightly different piece. All right, and then this whole thing could get glued in here now. So now I'm going to put some glue on the very back. I want to make sure he's lined up, so I'm just gonna go like this. And you want to get him in the center. There's going to be a little space on both sides, and I did it that way just so in case it's not glued correctly and they're a little wobbly, so that they still fit within this like section. So then you could flip that up, and there you go. So now you have all of your pages done. And once you add your pattern paper, they'll be a little flatter, and then you could flip down as well, and you could fit so many photos in here, you guys. So that is basically the whole entire album. You are probably going to want to add a magnet here and on the other side, so those stay closed, and then a magnet here on this side and on this flap. But if you're going to do your other flap also, I mean, you could do that first, or you could have the magnet on that one, whatever you want. So you could have 2 of these flaps if you guys choose. And I will put that maybe in the cutting guide that's optional. And I'll also put the belly band as optional. I mean, there's always ways to change things up, right? But anyway, guys, that is the whole entire cardstock album that I made. I hope you guys like it and enjoy. I will try to do a paper matting video on this. This one is pretty more straightforward, so I'm gonna try to do it. It shouldn't take too long, so I'll try. I just don't know when I'll have it done. But yeah, I'm happy to have at least caught up with May and June Scrappy Christmas Crafts videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next crafty video. Talk to you soon. Bye.